Hey y'all, welcome back to So It Is. My name is Mook. How is y'all doing? I'm gonna wait for a couple people to come in here, but I just wanted to share. This is gonna be just a really short video. But Mercury retrograde is over. And Scorpio season is also ending. So we have a few things that we should probably discuss. Um, this past month and some change I know has been probably affecting everyone differently, but still affecting everyone nonetheless. And it's been such deep transformation. And I talked about this in my last video about how, when you're going through spiritual transformation, you will go through a series of small deaths. And I feel like this has been a season of like, you know, death and transformation internally. Peace, y'all. Hey, Ron. And so I feel like it's been like a lot of transformation internally and just a lot of like deep inner work. And it's been one of those things where I haven't even wanted to be bothered. Like, I don't want to talk to people. I don't want people to talk to me. And not just because, you know, of anything, that anyone's doing. It's just been more so I need time to fill my cup and really deciding and determining who is has been allowing me to fill my cup and who has helped me to fill my cup and who has not, and what that looks like and what relationships need to be invested in and which ones don't. So it's been very interesting, the energy. It's also been very like I don't have the capacity, or I'm choosing to share and save some of the best parts of myself for me. Because when you are a healer and you are very empathic and things like that, people will deplete and deplete and deplete, and they don't know how or don't have the capacity to fill you back up. And I feel like that's something that I'm experiencing, that I notice that I have to draw a boundary when it comes to what I can give others and how I can give to others, and my ability to really help other people in which ways that I can help, which doesn't sacrifice my being happy, my being whole, my needing space, and things like that. And people who can appreciate that, we need space and we need time to feel on our own and feel how we want to feel without other people being offended by that. So I've been dealing with a lot of that. It's been a lot of internal transformation. It's been a lot of me feeling people so deeply that I can feel a person before they text me. I can feel a person before they, you know, hit me up, message me, like anything. I've been so sensitive to that. And I think that's because also I'm learning that during this time period, this whole time period has been a time for people to refine. Okay, so we're refining. And I think it was my sis D Ray who had used that terminology when we were talking about the energies we had been experiencing. And I'm refining. I think that is a beautiful word of we are refining what we want and what we don't want in this period, this last month, this whole, season, Scorpio season, going from Libra season into now Scorpio season, everything like that, now transitioning into Sagittarius season. Like these past month and some change has definitely been me refining, like me saying no again and again and again to things that I don't want, and being open and being welcoming to the things that I do want, and making sure that I'm, focusing on more of that. Right. And so it's been very interesting. So I called this video "The Plane is Landing" because the whole way that I can sum up the way the energy has been lately is when you're on a plane, right? And, when you think about being in a car, it's like if you go from, let me just use an example. If you go from California to Las Vegas in a car, right? That's probably, we'll say, a 4 or 5 hour trip, whatever. You go from California to Las Vegas in a plane, that's like an hour trip. But how it feels when you're riding in the car versus how it feels when you're riding in the plane is different. When you're riding in the plane, it feels like you're going so slow. It feels like you're going nowhere fast. When you're driving in a car, it feels like you're making a lot of distance. But in actuality, it takes a lot longer to get there on the ground than it does in the air, right? So as I was thinking about Mercury retrograde, I was thinking about the fact that, you know, I think we want to get to destination so fast, not knowing that sometimes doing the spiritual work gets us to a destination a lot faster. But because we're not seeing it happen on a physical level, we think that we're not actually making any progress. But the times that we do go through these retrogrades, this is a time for us to do that internal work. And sometimes it's a time for us to do this work astrally so that we can get there a lot faster. Now, it may look like we're going a lot slower. It may feel even that we're going a lot slower, but we're not. We're refining our taste to be able to take the fastest route. We're looking at a bird's eye view on how to get to our destination the fastest. I feel like we've been in an elevated state of awareness, and so in the physical, it may not seem like we're making those advances, seem like we're making those changes, right? Because when you're in a car and you're taking a road trip, you know, you're going the scenic route, you're able to see everything, and you know, things are coming past you, whatever, and you're able to really see and take things in. But when you're in a plane, you're not able to see how things are coming together on the ground. You know what I'm saying? You're in an elevated state. So you know that you're going somewhere. You know your destination, right? You know your destination, but it's everything in between that you don't know. It's the spaces and the places and what I'm crossing over and what I've avoided even being in this elevated state, getting to where I have to go versus being on the ground. Because when you're on the ground, there's a lot more traffic. When you're seeing things and wanting things to happen and be made physical, you're expecting for things to look a certain way and you're wanting to see the changes happening, right? And you're like, you know, when you're in a car, you're stopping through the lights, you're seeing the trees, you're doing all this. And when you're in an airplane, you're not doing that. And that's how it's been. We've been in this astral realm and in this, you know, very elevated dimension this past month, not really realizing that, you know, you're feeling turbulence, but you're getting to your destination a lot faster, right, than if you're on the ground. And when you're in a car, right, and when you're on the ground and when you're navigating through the 3D and you're on this, you know, lower level of, you know, realm in reality, you know, there's traffic. A lot more accidents happen. A lot more, you know, things that will get in your way. There's a lot more stops that have to be taken when you're taking a car versus taking a plane. And that's the way that I'm seeing the way this retrograde has been. That a lot of us have been in an airplane, you know, and thinking that we're not making any progress when really we're moving really fast, you know, and we're making a lot of distance in a short amount of time, but we're just not seeing those small pieces that go in between the A and the B versus when we're in the 3D and we're on a physical level and when our awareness is very, you know, key into the bullshit that's going on. You're seeing distractions. You're coming up against stop signs. You're coming up against stop lights. You're trying to avoid accidents. You're trying to stay in your own goddamn lane. And there's all these different things coming at you. You have, you know, places to stop at on the road. When you're on the 3D level and you're trying to make changes, right? There's going to be a lot more to distract you. That's you being in the car trying to get to your destination. Now, when you take a plane and you're seeing things from a higher perspective and you're saying that, hey, I'm just going to take literally the high road. I'm going to take the plane to get to my destination because one, I'm going to get there faster. And two, I'm avoiding everything that's happening on the Monday, like on this lower level, on this frequency of being on the ground. That I'm avoiding a lot of things that would happen if I was on, you know, taking a car to get to this destination. So you have to see it from operating within the lower and operating within the higher. And that's the only visualization that, you know, came to me when I was thinking of how this energy has been. And it's been where I feel like I'm in an airplane and, you know, I know my destination, I know where I'm going. And it's like, you know, I get glimpses, you know, through the clouds of like what is about to take place. I can't see everything from where I'm at, but I know that I'm going somewhere. I know where the end gain is. I know where the destination is, but it's just this, you know, I'm seeing a repetition of clouds and sometimes I'm distracted because I want to see what's going on down below. I want to see, but everything just looks like, a diagram from that perspective. You know what I'm saying? Everything just looks like little dots, and you can't really see the way that the pieces are being moved around the board when you're in this airplane. But you know that you're going to get to your destination a lot faster than the people who took the car, right? So it may not look like it may not feel like it, but just know that you're going to get to that destination. And, don't be scared sometimes to just go ahead and say, I don't know the pieces that are happening in between, but I know I'm going to get there, right? Because I'm taking the plane, which means that I'm operating from the higher self. I'm using the fastest navigation system in the route that is going to be the least resistant. I'm going to use the route that is going to have the least amount of traffic, the least amount of distractions, because when you're in that airplane, you ain't doing nothing but either sleeping or listening to music or watching something, or you're writing something down. You're in an environment where there's not very much chatter. There's not much talking going on. Someone's giving you direction. Someone is saying, in case of an emergency, this is what you need to do, right? And it's the same way I feel like it's been with my guides and my ancestors and my angels, and everything that's been happening right now during this retrograde is, if you need a helping hand, you call out. But there's not going to be a lot of details on what happens when you're taking this route. You just need to trust that we're going to get you safely to your destination. That's all you need to know, is that the divine is going to get you there. And if you need help, if you need assistance, if you need some snacks, you holler at us. Other than that, don't you do you. You know what I'm saying? You just relax and enjoy the ride. That's what happens when you're operating from the higher self. But when you're in the car, it's not like that. When you're in the car, there are distractions. There are going to be stop signs. There are going to be flags. There are going to be people trying to talk to you. There are going to be, construction. There's so much more happening on the ground. When you're not operating within the higher self and you're operating in that lower self, you will come up against a lot more friction. You're going to get there nonetheless, but that's not going to be the road least traveled. You see what I'm saying? And that's how I can correlate the relationship with Mercury retrograde and what we've been dealing with and what I've been experiencing right now. And so with Mercury retrograde being over, just to bring you all forward, with Mercury retrograde being over, the plane is now landing, right? So the plane lands and everybody's expecting, like, whoo, I'm ready to get the fuck up. I'm ready to go. I need to use the bathroom. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're just in go mode. But really, it takes you a minute from the time that the plane actually lands to the time that you get out and you get through the terminal, you get your baggage and you get to the car to get to your final destination. There's a little bit of a gap in between then and there. And that is exactly what is happening with Mercury retrograde, right? So the plane is landed. Mercury retrograde is over, but it's stationing direct, right? So it's landing and it's saying, okay, we know y'all ready to get off the plane. We know y'all ready to be at your destination, but you got to give us a minute. There's people ahead of you that need to get their things. This is going to go in order. There are certain things that have to happen before you can get to your luggage, before you can get out and get, and this anticipation is building because everybody's been sitting on the plane for 3-4 hours and we're ready to go. Right? So you've had this time to sit and think, and you've had this time to really, reflect. You've had this time to figure out all the things you're going to do when you get to your destination versus just enjoying the ride. But now that you have all these ideas, now that you have everything in your mind about what it is that you're going to do and, how ready you are to get off this plane, it's like you still have a waiting period. There's a little delay, right? Because number one, you need to get your shit. Let me get my bags from the overhead compartment. This is you saying, okay, let me gather everything that I've learned. Let me take everything that I've learned from this time period. Let me take everything that I've reflected on. Let me grab all of this. You know what I'm saying? Let me get rid of the things that don't serve me. Your angels, your archangels, the way showers, the guides, the ancestors, they're coming by. That's the flight attendants coming by to say, okay, give me all the bullshit. Give me that trash that you got over there. We're just going to clean up for you going ahead and get up out of here. Let's make sure you don't forget your shit. That's what's happening. And that's what I feel like has been taking place. So we're saying, okay, cool. We got our shit. Now we're just in line waiting to get out this motherfucker. Right? So you have to think that, Mercury retrograde has been a time for you to reflect. It's been a time for you to review. And now that you know, that I'm going to make a safe landing, that I'm about to get to where I got to go safely, that I've made it to my destination. You made it to your destination. You're on the other side now. You about to jump out that portal. You're about to leave that door of the plane and you're about to be at your destination. But if you don't have all your shit, if you're not ready, you know what I'm saying? Then you're gonna be upset. You've missed some steps. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you didn't leave nothing. Make sure you got all your stuff. Make sure okay, I know what to do. I know what not to do. And the next time you get in the plane, every time I get on a plane, I'm a little bit more prepared. Every time I connect with the higher self and I come back down to reality and I get to my destination, I know that I'm a little bit closer. I'm a little bit. Can you all hear me? Okay. I'm going to make sure I got something comfortable. I'm going to make sure that I've ate. I'm going to make sure that I'm calm. I'm not anxious. I've rested. I've taken a shot if I needed to, just to get me through the ride. You know what I'm saying? Whatever my preparation is before I get on this plane, every time that the universe tells me, okay, it might be a little bit of turbulence, but we're going to get you there safe. You know what I'm saying? That's what the universe has been letting you know, that yes, we know the destination that you're trying to get to. We know the destination that you're trying to get to, and yes, you're going to get there. And yes, we're here if you absolutely need it. But sit back and enjoy the ride, because when you get off this plane, it's just you. When you get off this plane, when you get off this ride, you got to get to the next part is on you. We got you to where you wanted to go. You said you wanted to be in Las Vegas. We got you to Las Vegas. Now what you do when you get there is up to you. We gave you the tools to succeed. All you said was get you there and that you would do the rest. So now it's up to you. Now that you done landed in Vegas, now that we're landing, now the plane is landing, it's up to you to win. It's up to you to succeed. You had nothing but time this past portal that we've been in, this death and rebirth, and feel like I died every day until today, and now I'm still being reborn, and now I gotta still go, refresh myself and get in go mode. You know what I'm saying? It's one of those things that now that you're here, now that you've landed, it's up to you to win. It's up to you to navigate now. Now that you're on the ground, we didn't brought you back down to, you know what I'm saying? We've grounded you out. Now that we've grounded you out, you have to decide if you're going to win or not. You decide, are you going to succeed? You decide, have you learned enough? Have you gained enough knowledge while you've been on this ride? Did you enjoy it? Did you enjoy that reset? Did you enjoy that rest? Because now it's time to go. We brought you snacks. We did what you know what I'm saying? We made sure you had your devices. We made sure exactly what it is that you needed to do. So now that we've done that, it's up to you. So I feel like the plane is landing. Y'all, you're walking off the plane. Work with me now. Imagine with me. You're walking off the plane. You got your stuff. You're about to come out that portal on the other side. You take a deep breath. You're like, all right, I made it. What's the first order of business? Okay, let me go get my stuff. Most of the times, I'm not bringing no extra baggage. I don't like to, you know what I'm saying? I'm not bringing no extra stuff. So I don't even need to go to baggage check, because whatever can fit in this overhead bin and on my back is what I'm coming with. I've learned, and it's the same thing with the ascension process. You will learn. You want to be light as a feather. You don't want to take a lot of stuff with you on this journey, because at the end of it, you will not have it with you. There's going to be a lot of things that happen and take place where you're not going to be able to take all that shit with you anyway. And you're not going to use half of it. Pack light. Like Mansoor said. Yeah. Like Eric Badu said. Pack light. So you've gotten to your destination and you have to decide what's going to happen from here on out. This has been a culmination and a refining of everything that you've learned right now. The old self has been, it felt like Mercury was just stabbing and like, yeah, you're done with that old shit. Don't hold on to that either. It's been like, no, you know what I'm saying? We're done with that. Don't pick that shit back up. And I'm like, okay. And I've been tested. I feel like during this period, I've been tested plenty of times. You know what I'm saying? The universe has been like, hey, I thought you said no. What's up with that? So I'm having to let people know. No, I said I wasn't going to do that. Said I wasn't going to partake in that no more. You know what I'm saying? Said I was going to, be a little more diligent, be a little bit more disciplined. I said I was going to choose me again and again. And Mercury tested me. How are you going to choose yourself? Going to give you plenty of time. I mean, when I say it has been like, okay, I'm done with something. And then that same thing is presented right back in my face. And my ancestors like, yeah, nigga, we here. We watching. Thought you said no. Thought you said you was done. I'm like, ease up on me. I'm working on it. You know what I'm saying? I'm refining. So then every time that I've been presented with situations that repeat themselves, I'm now taking the opportunity to say, okay, let me put my foot down. Let me be more disciplined because I don't want to repeat these cycles anymore. And yes, the universe will do that to you. I mean, the same day. Even I was dating someone. I said, no, I'm done with that. Same day, the person texts me back and it was like, well, what are you doing? Well, I thought I was getting over this situation until you just text me. But, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to do better. Okay, great. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's been one of those situations where you get tested because the universe be like, you are lying. You haven't done the work. So now I said, okay, fine. I'm going to do the work. You know what I'm saying? Let me focus. Let me get into it. So, okay, boom. So now I'm coming out on the other side and I can say that I've officially, you know, seen what was going on, what was taking place, and now I can step out of this portal confident that I've made the right decisions in making sure that I did what the universe asked me to do and did what I said I was going to do, in listening to those intuitive nudges that I've been getting. And when it's something is not serving me, really letting it go and really taking time to do the internal work. Literally had a day where I had to lay in the bed and cry because there had been so much avoiding and distracting myself from pain that I didn't even know where it was coming from and still haven't been able to identify it. But as long as it was out of me and not in me, I knew that I was doing the right thing. Because inside of me, I'm like, I am about to blow up. It was one of those things where I would be conversing with someone, talking to someone, and all of a sudden now I'm just feeling all out of place, all out of whack. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And it may have been something I picked up and it may have been something that was internal. But I know I had been doing visualizations and I had been doing healing techniques to clear out whatever it was, emptying the file cabinet. You know what I'm saying? Going back, and not even necessarily going back because I don't believe in digging up things that I've said that I've healed from. But when it does surface, when there is something that may possibly even trigger what it is that I have to, deal with, then I go back and I say, okay, let me deal with that. What in my external environment caused that to be something that was triggering for me? How do I recognize these triggers and how do I move forward? So yes, I think who is this? Alex said maintenance. It's the same way. You know what I'm saying? You are a fine-tuned machine and you have to do maintenance on yourself. So I absolutely, agree that it's been hectic, but I know that we're coming out on the other side. I've been seeing a lot of portal energy, a lot of this 1111 energy, and I feel like you've had the chance and the opportunity. And if you haven't, take the time tonight to make sure that you refine what it is that you want, what you're asking for, making sure that your discernment has been where it needs to be, that you are being intentional about what you want, that you're waking up and you're going to sleep with the goal in mind, just knowing that the destination has already been determined. Now, the part that goes in, the details that happen on the way and the trip ups that may happen, the tower moments, that happen in between here and there, we can't always predict that. We can't always predict the tower moments that happen between here and there, but just know that your destination has already been determined. Okay, y'all, my phone died. My phone died. So I know y'all probably can't, hear me too well because my phone been acting up. But I'm gonna go ahead and end it here. I hope my point was made. I hope y'all heard, the important parts of what I was saying and got the gist of what this live was about. You know what I'm saying? So, the plane is landing. And so, just know that although it's gonna take a couple of days, for this energy to really settle, it is going to be time for us to take action. It is going to be time for us to use everything that we've learned over this past few years, months, however long you've been on your journey, to move forward. You know what I'm saying? So the time is now to really refine, make those last adjustments, and act, because I feel like there's going to be so many opportunities for you to really set things straight. It's going to be so many opportunities for you to really step through on the other side of all the healing that you've done, all of the transformation. Like, I feel like there's going to be, intuitively, I can feel that for a lot of us, it's going to be those moments where the universe is going to say, have you healed? Have you done the work? And those of us who have been on this journey and who have, been actively seeking the higher self first, and making sure that we're in, complete and soul connection with ourselves, it's going to be a beautiful and fruitful time for us, because we're going to be standing on the right side of this thing. We're going to be in a place where we've mastered our emotions. We've mastered the physical plane. We know how to work in the spiritual when things, when we need things. I know what to do, and I know who to call on, and I know what to evoke and bring and channel out of myself. And I also know, even on a physical level, how to recognize things within others, how to recognize things that may be in another person that may be in me, how other people can trigger me, how I can be in sole control of my emotions. You know what I'm saying? So it's one of those things where, you know, we're at that place. It's like I've learned so much, and I would be mistaken to go backwards and to not move with my head held high, that I've done all this work. Like, I feel no way. I see memes online, all day about how, certain things, or how you should do the work and things like this. And I know for a fact there are so many people who can hide behind quotes. And I know that me, for myself, I can be confident that I am a person who has actually done work, who has actually said, let me get those toxic traits out of myself. Let me kill the narcissism within me. Let me die to myself a few times before I go and interact with others, so that I'm not the one who is giving and bringing a toxic energy to my relationships with family, friends, or otherwise, and understanding that even though it may look like, and this is a very Mercury retrograde type of thing, because Mercury looks like it's spinning backwards, but it's not. It's really moving faster. So this is why we have this, analogy of the plane, because even though it feels like when you're on the plane that it's going slower, it's one of the fastest modes of transportation. You know what I'm saying? And so once you've connected with the higher self, that is the fastest mode of transportation. Now, although you may not see everything that's happening on the ground, just know that you are going to get to your destination, and it's going to be the path of least resistance. Being in connection and being in tandem with the higher self. That is always going to be the best way to get you to where you have to go with, the least amount of interruptions. That's not to say that when you're connected and one with the higher self, you don't experience turbulence. But what you do know is that you are able to better handle the situations, that you have better help in the situation. You have a better ability to see things from a bird's eye view and see things from a better perspective when going through the turbulence, which will help you to go through it with ease. You know what I'm saying? So, I really hope that that I've made myself clear, that I've made sense. So the plane is landing, and you're now at your destination. It's a lot of portal energy, so you are walking, into a new phase. You're ending cycles, and if you haven't, this would be the perfect time to go ahead and finalize what it is that you are trying to bring into fruition. use everything. Be the magician. The magician, when you look at the card in the tarot, the magician has a sword, has a wand, has a pentacle, has, a cup, right? And when you look at the card, it looks like he only has those four elements: the sword, the cup, the wand, and the pinnacle. But on top of his head is the infinity symbol, which represents the ether. So you have fire, earth, air, water, spirit, and ether. You know what I'm saying? So all of these elements, you've literally went through all of these phases, all of these seasons, to really come out on the other side as a person who has the ability to manifest in every and all situations. You should be able to, heal yourself emotionally. You should be able to take action when necessary. You should be able to speak and stand in your truth. You should be able to manifest, in the physical when you need to. And you should be able to connect with spirit when, at all times. That is being the magician. That's using the wand of fire to be able to take action, using the sword of truth to be able to stand up for yourself in any and all situations, and to know and see the truth clearly, to be able to, not only have love of self with that cup, but to be able to pour into others and be willing to receive love in return, be able to manifest with that pinnacle, be able to do things, heart-centeredly, and give in charity and be a cheerful giver, as they say, and to be able to manifest when you need, right? And to also have that infinity on top of your head, which is saying that I am an etheric spiritual being. You know what I'm saying? I am an infinite piece of this universe. And, I know that a lot of times we, get caught up in the fact that maybe we are just a speck of dust, but, we make a lot of things happen, and we move a lot of things as humans, being in this physical body. But understand that we are so multidimensional, and that there is so much more to you, and you don't have to feel so small in comparison. Like, we are all small universes orbiting each other. And so, with that being said, you have to understand that you have the ability to do many things. And I really hope that this will encourage you all to use everything that you have in order to get yourself to that next phase. Because I know there's times, even with myself, where it's not even a lack of confidence. I would say it's more so, you get so tired of the mundane. You get so fed up that it's almost like, what is the point? We all have those times where we go through that, what is the point? And we have that, spirit of depression that will creep up on us. And we have to say, like, there is a reason, even if I can't see. Even if I can't see the puzzles that are being, and the pieces that are being moved around the board right now on my behalf, does not mean that I'm not going to get to my destination. Doesn't mean that there isn't something greater than me taking, place. You know what I'm saying? Because it does get like that. And I'm not going to shy away from that or pretend like I don't have days where it's just, all peace and prosperity and positivity. Because there's plenty of days where I say to myself, like, God damn, spirit, please send help. Send an angel. At this point, you can send a goddamn alien. Let somebody come tell me we're going to be okay. You know what I'm saying? Because the reassurance is everything during those hard times. And having someone that will pick you up, and having someone that will come and give you that extra, encouragement on your walk. You know what I'm saying? It's like, please. Y'all think I'm playing, and Charles, like, I'm not joking. Like, it gets like that. And I'm not going to be one of those people who even plays with y'all like that, because I know y'all too real to even fall for the okie doke. Like, there is motherfucking days where you're like, fuck this job, fuck these people. I'm about to say fuck these bills. I'm about to say fuck the landlord. I'm about to say, you know what I'm saying? And you get to that point where you're like, you know what? Say one more thing. Like, I hope you could fight. I hope you could fight. You know what I'm saying? Like, it be one of those type of things. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was at work the other day and somebody said to me something crazy to me, and I just looked and I said, this motherfucker better know how to fight, because the way you talking to me, you know what I'm saying? And it's just one of those things where it's like, I'm too 3D right now. Too 3D. and have to just really, you know, build myself up to, understand that there is a community and there are people who feel the way I feel, and I don't have to feel alone. And I know that things are going to, manifest in the way that they should, and making sure that I tell the God within me every day, like, God within me, you are able, you are capable. And every day I know that we are going to be in alignment with our highest path, even if I can't see it. I'm saying I'm grateful, you know what I'm saying, for that God within me. I'm grateful every morning. God within, you did it again. You know what I'm saying? God within, you woke me up. God within, I was in the right place at the right time, and I'm grateful for the opportunity. Thank you for moving that piece around, even though I didn't see the outcome. You know what I'm saying? Even though I didn't see that this was going to be what I needed it to be at the time, even though I was a little, apprehensive, I'm glad that I followed my intuition anyway, because God damn it, you were right again. In trusting myself, in trusting that I'm not going to leave myself hanging. And I know that I'm connected enough with the higher self and connected enough with the God within, even if I divert from the path even just a little bit, that I know that there's going to be a sign, a symbol, a synchronicity that will get me back to where I have to go, because I trained myself to do so. I've talked to my subconscious mind. I've healed those wounds within myself enough to be able to hear my intuition, which is the God within me, talking to me very loudly and giving me signs and signs and symbols and synchronicities in my outer environment that will help me to manifest what it is that I need in order to get to that destination. Sometimes I don't even goddamn know what the destination looks like. Shit be throwing me so left and right. Well, what is the destination, God? Can we just do a double check? Can we check in on destination? Let's make sure my plane ain't got no layovers, okay? You know what I'm saying? Like, there's those things that happen, and you have to be so sure of one thing, and that is that you are not going to let yourself fail. And then you walk in that, and you trust that, and you trust the God within you, and you become one with that God within you, and you know that I'm not even going to fake stress. I'm not even going to fake stress like shit's not going to be all right, because it always has been. I've always been taken care of, even in those times that it may not have looked like it, and I seen a meme the other day, and I think Travis Majors had posted it, said, God, why are you taking me through turbulent waters? And he said, because your enemies cannot swim. And that resonated with me, because it was like, people will, people will laugh at you and then end up in the same exact place that you were in when they were laughing. And so I think it's one of those things where I have to look at everything, not only what's going on within, but also looking at the outer, and not being persuaded by the outer circumstances. I'm not going to be persuaded by the fancy glitter and gold. I'm not going to be persuaded by the fake spiritualists. I'm not going to be persuaded by religion or by the fake new age movement. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to let anything persuade me from the fact that I know that God is within me, and I am going to be great, and I'm going to be successful at whatever it is that I do, because that was determined before I got here. That was my divine birthright, as it is yours to do what it is that you were supposed to do. Everybody's path is not supposed to look like that. And because we're in an age of social media, I think that we get confused. And we delay ourselves, thinking that our journey needs to look like someone else's. But what I do know is that no matter how dark it is, God, I have always been the light. And that was one thing that a mentor told me. They always said, she would always tell me, it doesn't matter how dark it gets, because you are the light. It doesn't matter. You're what's supposed to illuminate your path, the path. You know what I'm saying? So with that in mind, love yourselves a little bit more, treat yourself a little bit better, step into this new dimension, step into this next portal, this next phase of life, knowing that you have done the work. And if you haven't, I suggest you get to it. Okay? Step into this next phase knowing that you've done everything everything that you were supposed to do. You've done everything that you could to get to where you needed to go. Know that you have been in alignment with the higher self and asked for it, commanded. The other day, I just commanded God within me, make a way. You know what I'm saying? Open the way. Remove any obstacle. And I had to change my words because I said, in the divine mind, there are no obstacles. So I see my path clear. You know what I'm saying? And definitely commanding and making sure that I'm doing and saying everything that I preach and teach. You know, a lot of us get caught up in wanting to say something or be a word for another person. It's like, damn, did I do that myself today? I take accountability. I take accountability. Everything that happens or does not happen on my path is a direct result of the work that I have or have not put in. I'm trying to work smarter, not harder. And if me getting to my destination a little bit smoother means me taking a plane and avoiding the traffic on the ground, that's what I'm going to do. So I know that the God within me has a plan. I know that I can't always see the puzzle pieces being moved on the board, but I know that things are happening. And I know that I'm going to get to my destination when I'm supposed to, right on time. You know what I'm saying? So practice having a little bit more freedom. Practice loving yourself a little bit harder. Practice loving those who love you that much more. Practice reciprocating what someone has given you and give it back to them tenfold. Because it's those people who have reminded you on the journey where you are and where you're supposed to go and giving you that encouragement. I'm telling you, that is going to be the only thing that you can hold on to in those times of turbulence. Because there are people on your path that you don't know how much they sacrifice to make sure that you get to your destination accordingly. And I have to be grateful for those people, and I hope that you'll be grateful for those people that are there for you in your life in that same way. You know what I'm saying? And as far as the analogy of the plane goes, when you think about the stewardess that is on the plane and everything like that, and you know, a person who, if anything goes down, they know that they have to make sure that everybody that, you know what I'm saying, is here is good first. Giving you the ability to take care of you first. We have to care for those people in our lives, you know, symbolically, who have made sure that you were okay first, so that you could make sure that you. That's important. It's very important, because although I do talk a lot about cutting people off and making sure that, you know, you keep your space clear of energy that doesn't serve you, it is also very important to take care of those energies that have been there for you, that have cared for you, that have been a part of these transformations, who have been there from beginning to end, no judgment. And really, even if they didn't have an understanding of what was going on within or around you, they have still been there for you. You have to take care of those people. You have to love those people. You have to hug those people and let them know that what they did for you in those times did something for you. Because we know that time is infinite, but in this realm of reality, we do expire in the physical. So it's very important, you know, and I think about that because death and transformation, you know, is a constant. Today is actually my cousin's birthday. He passed when we were, you know, 19 and 20. And I thought about that today. Like, the last time I seen him, you know, I didn't get out the car because I said, I'm gonna see him tomorrow. I was coming home from work. I was in a car. I was riding with somebody. I was tired, and I said, I'm gonna see him tomorrow. I seen him out on the corner, downtown, and I said, I'm gonna holler at him tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? And I found out the next day, a few days later after that. It was either the next day or a few days later that my cousin had been murdered. And I said, I'll never take that chance again. Because My intuition told me to hug him. One word, just go out and hug your cousin. You know what I'm saying? Go give him some love, and I didn't. And it was one of those things that we think we have infinite opportunities to listen to that God within us, when it's like, if you miss that opportunity, you've missed that opportunity. And we need to think about that as it relates to every aspect of our lives, not missing those opportunities and taking those intuitive nudges, because that could literally be the difference between life and death, not only for yourself but for someone else. So when it comes to telling someone that you appreciate them, that you love them, don't take any time or hesitation to do that, because it's very important to let people know that, what they did for you helped you in a big way, no matter who or what. So I just wanted to share that with you. It is a lot of transformation taking place, and I hope it helps somebody. My journey here has been amazing, and I'm grateful for every last one of you, if I can say that. Those people who send me donations, I don't care if it was $1, $2, whatever. I know how hard people work for what's theirs. I know how hard people work for their money, and that really, there's such a deep appreciation I have for people who really donate to me and really say that, although I've worked for this, I believe that your energy is worth something, and I appreciate that. And it's very humbling. So I really, really appreciate everyone here who takes their time to comment, who takes their time to email me, who takes their time to do anything, as far as energy exchange, and being here, and, telling me how much they relate to my journey. And, I had to share that with y'all. So I love y'all infinitely. I do hope it helps, as always. Love on your people, hug on your people, love on yourself a little bit more. Do something that makes you feel good, look good, smell good, whatever. Go out and step off this plane and into this portal, renewed and ready for a new experience, because it's here for you. So I love you all. I will be back. Share, like, comment, subscribe, donate if you can. Either way, I appreciate and love y'all for being here, and I will see you soon.